Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on the primetime newscast on Equinox Television. We're live from Cameroon's economic capital, where we have the Equinox Central News Desk. We are 6 p.m. in Cameroon and 5 p.m. in Accra, Ghana. Accra, Ghana, where some of the migrants were coming from. They were illegal migrants, about 250 from Ghana and parts of West Africa, today rescued by the Cameroonian Navy off the coast of Cameroon. We'll give you details in this edition of the news. And a road scandal in the Donga Mountain Division is threatening to pull down top respected officials in Cameroon. Over 180 million francs CFE dedicated for the construction of the Baba Kete, that is the Bebe Kete, Bebe Jama road in Messages subdivision of the Donga Mountain Division, is said to have been mishandled. We give you more in this edition, equally taking you to the Fano region of Cameroon, where some 6 armed bandits were apprehended by the Defense and Security Forces of Cameroon. Thanks for being with us. You're on to the primetime newscast on Equinox Television. I am, for me, Armstrong Sandam. We begin with news from the northern region of Cameroon, where some 6 bandits were apprehended by the gendarmerie in the north region of Cameroon. They are said to have been harassing inhabitants of the locality, as Manji Kangebe presents in the following report.
They were 6 in number, with their ages ranging between 19 to 23 years, that were arrested by the elements of the Rapid Intervention Police Force of Gadwa 1. According to the commissioner of Njambutu, Obama Esela Blaise, the alleged bandit assassinated Zé Leon Richard, a worker with the social insurance company of Gadwa, and took away his motorcycle. After investigation for close to a month, the arrest of this alleged bandit came as a sigh of relief to the co-workers of the assassinated Zé Richard, who was 35 years of age.
Nous sommes réconfortés et rassurés que ce soit le cas aujourd'hui.
The divisional officer of Gadwa 1 used the occasion to beckon on the population to have faith in the justice and security system of Cameroon. Have confidence with the justice and security systems, because after the assassination of Mr. Z was done, it took us practically about a month to carry out investigation. The security forces worked in Gadwa, Pitwa, the Chinese camp, and Rumdaja. It is thanks to the good collaboration between the security forces that has given us this final result. With the arrest of the 6 alleged bandits, inhabitants hope that peace will finally return to Gadwa 1 municipality.
There were close to 250 coming from Nigeria, Ghana, and parts of West Africa. They were illegal migrants moving to Gabon, a country in the Central African sub-region. They were today rescued by the Cameroonian Marine off the coast of Cameroon. They were on board a wooden canoe moving to Gabon, saying they are seeking for a better life. Simandi Kangrebe reports again.
There were over 250 passengers on board a canoe that was picked up traveling on the high sea by marine officials during a patrol. The majority of the passengers traveling on the canoe originated from West African nations like Senegal, Togo, Burkina Faso, Guinea, Mali, Niger, Nigeria, alongside Burundi and Gabon. These persons were en route to Gabon, where they say life will be more better than their former host nation.
I decided to travel because in my area there is no work, and I believe that if I reach Gabon, I will see a little work to succeed my family. Now only transport I spent motor. If I reach Gabon, I go pay for the people will carry us passport. They arrest us on our way, they come and block us.
It is as a result of the risk involved in traveling on the high sea with a canoe that marine officials mobilized 30 crew members of the Ntam ship to rescue the passengers on board the canoe. The operation that lasted for over 7 hours was led by the head of the Navy force.
The Cameroon Navy ship.
Of course, they were arrested by the Cameroonian Marine who took them on board the Ntem. The Ntem is one of the Cameroonian Navy ship patrolling the coast of Cameroon. We shall be coming back to that report in subsequent editions of News on Equinox Television. We take you to one of our lead stories. A road scandal in Donga-Mantung division in the northwest region of Cameroon is threatening to bring down top respected officials in Cameroon. Over 180 million francs CFA was accorded by the governments of the Republic of Cameroon for the construction of the road linking Bebekete and Bebejama villages in Messages subdivision of this division of the Republic of Cameroon. But the money, some persons say, has been misused. We open chapter 1 on the road scandal in Donga-Mantung in the following report. Donga-Mantung road scandal number 1 is the Bebekete-Bebejama stretch in Messages subdivision, awarded by the government of Cameroon to be constructed for over 180 million francs CFA. From this junction, the right stretch leads to Bebekete, while the left leads to Bebejama village. Locals present this stretch into Bebejama as what the enterprise in charge left for them after exhausting the over 180 million francs CFA, impassable for vehicles, and ended halfway into Bebejama. Bebejama villagers still carry things on their head over a long distance. Goods are taken from the enclaved village to this area to be taken to Kambe and the rest of Donga-Mantung division. Mr. Kambe Paul, the then Donga-Mantung divisional delegate of public works, in 2018 said execution was well done by the Nia Enterprise, controlled by MJN Enterprise, and technical reception done accordingly. But the beneficiary community advanced a contrary report that caused the Donga-Mantung Divisional Follow-up Committee for the Execution of Public Investment Projects to come in, petitioning the Prime Ministry and CONAC on what they call corrupt practices.
It's true, I got it, that CONAC will let you on the end of Bamenda call people to come and bribe so that they will go and give a report to the quarters are being. We heard about some who were being asked about 2 million francs in it all. When now people go bribe, so long as we are in this community and we are the people's representative, that project, either they will prove to us that this government is a corrupt government, and if not, then if we are here put by the same government, then they will listen to us. Whoever had given money anywhere, they will come to cause themselves to be blamed, but the right thing must be done, and that's why we must go back to the field again, like we have just agreed.
Considering the amount concerned and the accusations, Equinox Television contacted a certain Mr. Emmanuel, CEO of Nia Enterprise, the company in charge of construction, who said he did his job accordingly as requested by the contract terms. An opinion partly concorded by the mayor of Messages Council, Samim Batak.
First of all, I had 2 projects. One leading from Dumbu to Maikila, Bebejama to Akwetok. So now I just made this other stretch, which was studied a priori, carried to Yaoundé, and submitted at the level of the Ministry of Public Works. So that was approved and credit given, and the work was done as planned. So the mistake of thinking that we should have gone to Bebejama proper is not founded, because I could not have a rule living past that were already submitted before this one, and I will repeat it again. So the execution from the studies made and from the work plan as that was done, you say we have not much with left. What I may see that is something a bit different from this, that it was not laterite, and they said that the amount could not permit putting laterite on the road.
During the 10th July 2019 Divisional Participatory Follow-up meeting in Kambe, the Senior Divisional Officer for Donga Mantung Division said he had received 2 correspondence from the presidency and went further to say the Bebekete-Bebejama road scandal involves respectable officials within and out of the Northwest region. The Divisional Follow-up Committee for the Execution of Public Investment Projects, working with the African Justice for Peace Association, has vowed that any corrupt or poorly executed project in Donga Mantung Division must be unveiled for justice to be done for the vulnerable community and peace maintained in a division already suffering the effects of the Anglophone crisis. And hectares of land used for the cultivation of cash crops have been destroyed by floods in the Bambutus division, that's in the west region of Cameroon. Local inhabitants blame the natural disaster on the opening of the Bamenjing Falls. Simad Rada Immaculate Fogwe completes that story.
Over 60 tons of cash crops have been destroyed following the coming of the floods in this area. We are in Bazingang 2, Galim subdivision, Bambutus division, west region of the country. The coming of the floods in the area has resulted to enormous material losses, as explained by those affected by the situation.
From my farm.
Water has gotten into my farm and flooded the whole area. I have lost close to 60 tons of maize. I don't know how I'm going to cope with my family due to the situation. Locals blame the opening of the Bamenjing water barrage by the person in charge as a root cause of the floods. We started experiencing such recently, but the situation has never been this serious. The floods is not an outcome of the heavy rains. Rather, it is because of the opening of the water barrage by the chief in charge of the project. We have really lost a lot. We explained the situation to the divisional officer of Ngalim, so we are still waiting for him to react.
Les vannes qui ont été ouvertes au niveau du barrage de Bamenjing. Voilà la principale cause qui...
The divisional officer for Ngalim subdivision, alongside the delegate of agriculture, went to the site to evaluate the losses incurred.
I came here to witness by myself what is happening in this village, where water is everywhere. This situation is a lot of loss for my population. They have lost so many goods, and what I have to do only is to send a report to my hierarchy.
That you say come here to see what's happened. But the main problem is that I want to know the side of the field that is touched by the water or that is damaged by the water. I want again to know how many producers are concerned and the types of food that is damaged, so that we will go back to the office and try to estimate.
All hands are now crossed as these inhabitants are hoping that the situation will be looked upon soonest.
France has pledged the financial support worth 30 billion francs CFA to the Cameroonian government to help reconstruct the war-torn Far North region of Cameroon. The announcement was made by the visiting French Minister for Europe and Foreign Affairs that visited the Far North regional chieftain Marwa. Hemini Luga completes that report.
It's been years now that the Boko Haram insurgent group has threatened peace in the far north region of the country. The governor of the region reiterated 1,300 attacks so far, with deaths recorded and pushful displacements of inhabitants from their villages. Deserted villages and perforated walls till date revamps old memories. Though a constant pushback force by the Cameroonian army, the need to totally neutralize the insurgent group remained primordial. The visit of Jean-Yves Le Drian, the French Minister for Europe and Foreign Affairs, in the Far North regional head town, Maroua, brings a diplomatic assurance. To the local administrators of the region, he has affirmed his country's commitment to support Cameroon's development drive and fight against insecurity in the Far North region. To this effect, an envelope worth 30 billion CFA francs set for the assistance.
J'ai annoncé 45 millions d'euros de soutien au développement de cette région.
He announced 30 billion CFA francs support to Cameroon to tackle the Boko Haram attacks. He says it is a long-term engagement.
Et vous dire que nous sommes à vos côtés dans la lutte contre le terrorisme.
He as well had a first-hand view of the efforts made in the fight against the Boko Haram and the improvement of the economic situation of the Far North region, a region which till date is recovering from the scars of the attacks perpetrated by the Boko Haram. After administrative talks, Jean-Yves Le Drian received gifts from the local community.
C'est un sac qui a plusieurs compartiments. Donc, vous nous ferez l'utiliser peut-être pour aller rencontrer M. le Président de la République, afin de lui rendre compte certainement de votre visite.
Remember, he visited the Far North Regional Chieftain Maroua after a similar encounter with Cameroonians in the economic capital Douala. While here in Douala, the French Minister for Europe and Foreign Affairs equally renewed the economic partnership agreement between Cameroon and France. He said there are hopes that the just-ended major national dialogue in Yaoundé will resolve the crisis in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. Innocent Azeh reports.
The French Minister of Foreign Affairs in Cameroon, Jean-Yves Le Drian, met with economic operators in Bonanjo Douala as the Cameroon Business Cartel premises, JICAM. Evaluation of economic cooperation between Cameroon and France was made, with the revelation France, amongst many foreign partners, is first contributor to the development of the country by close to 50%. Reason why the economic partnership has been renewed. A partnership that will be solid, responsible, balanced and open to all in the chain. In response, Jean-Yves Le Drian hails the organization of the Major National Dialogue to end the country's Anglophone crisis, which has weakened the country's economic power. He believes the dialogue will revive Cameroon's economic productivity for a mutual beneficial partnership. The French Foreign Affairs Minister also braved winds to visit the second bridge over the Wouri River, which his country financed through the French Development Agency. Welcomed by Littoral Governor, the government's delegates to the Douala City Council, local administrative authorities and the population of Douala, Le Drian was presented plan of the realized edifice and equally showed other facilities associated to the traffic relieving bridge.
Je suis vraiment très heureux de voir ce pont sur Wouri.
He expressed satisfaction and explained needs for the cooperation ties to persist for mutual developmental gains.
C'est le symbole aussi de la qualité de la relation qui existe entre le Cameroun et la France.
The second Wouri Bridge, ever since its realization and commissioning into use in 2018, has helped curb traffic jam and relieved economic operators as well as the general public.
And the Cameroon Civil Aviation Authority is stepping up effort to fight insecurity, notably at the Douala International Airport. They do so by organizing, among other things, seminars such as the one organized today in the city of Douala on security crisis management, exercise to evaluate various roles actors can play in order to step up security at the level of the Douala International Airport. Innocent Aze once again.
The Aviation Security Crisis Management exercise aims at evaluating various roles like security brigades, health services, logistics, transportation and airport security at the Douala International Airport.
L'objectif atteint qui était de tester le plan d'urgence sectoriel des différents membres qui interviennent dans la sécurité de l'aviation.
Also, to identify all the actions carried out by the reacting actors during the exercise, the deficiencies that could be identified, as well as the solutions that can be made to remedy the deficiencies and optimize the response mechanism to the actions of unlawful interference at the Douala International Airport.
Avec un minimum d'impact sur les vies humaines et sur les biens.
At the end of this exercise, a corrective plan was developed, presented and given to the Director General of the Civil Aviation Authority of Cameroon to evaluate the management of the preliminary phase of the crisis, the Airport Crisis Management Plan, the service sector plans and procedures, infrastructure and equipment in use, not leaving out training of personnel dedicated to crisis management. These accept the deficiency of the services involved in the implementation of preventive security measures, air traffic procedures, rescue and fire service procedures will be tested to ensure they attain international standards.
That report brings us to the end of the first part of the Primetime Newscast. Stay with us. Second part is Talking Point. We are receiving Prophet Longla Blasius. He is a political analyst in Cameroon. Thanks for joining us on Talking Point.
Thank you, Mr. Fomi Armstrong. Thank you. I give God the glory for the opportunity that He has given me to come here again, and I give thanks to all the administrators of Equinox Televisions who always ask us or invite us to come and share our own view on what is happening in Cameroon and to find a lasting solutions.
Yes, a lot of things are happening in Cameroon, starting from the security challenges in the far north region of Cameroon to that in the two English-speaking regions of Cameroon that seem to be the most preoccupying to Cameroonians. At this level of the crisis, where are we heading to? You are not only a political analyst and equally a man of God.
Yes, what is happening in Cameroon is misgovernance. What is happening in Cameroon is the regime that is in power that has taken everything into themselves, and they are not thinking of the human life. They don't have the human feelings. They don't have the passions of the passion to the nations. They don't have that will, that good will to see how they can bring everyone together, to see how they can organize, bring Cameroonians together and see how we can fight and come up with a good developed country or a good developed nation, Cameroon. So as far as the security crisis is concerned, the government, I pray that the government should sit up, because when a country is destabilized as far as the security is concerned, it means nothing will ever be successful in Cameroon. And if we are at this stage fighting for emergence 2035, and in 2019 we are still struggling to see how we can fight to bring peace or to bring development in Cameroon, then that emergence 2035 is something that we still need to push the data ahead. So our government will really sit up and see how they can organize and really put things in order.
a seat of power to bring the crisis in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon? Is it a sole responsibility of the government of the Republic of Cameroon?
Yes, Mr. For me, Armstrong, I would say it categorically clear that it is the responsibility of the head of state, and if it is the responsibility of the head of state, then definitely it is the responsibility of the government of Cameroon, because they are the one that is holding the knife and the yam. They are the one to take the final decision. Imagine when the head of state called on the major national dialogue, everyone was happy. Everyone was really jubilating, because it was something that we were praying for, that it should come, because when a dialogue is organized, when a dialogue is called, it means there is already a step to peace. So, and he is the only person who can call a dialogue. He is the only one who can call for peace. He is the only one who can decide whether peace will reign in Cameroon or not.
So okay, now in that position of being the only one to decide, he called for a dialogue.
He called for a dialogue. For what others has been saying, some say it was a drama, some say it was a movie, some say it was a sketch, but to me it was a non-event. A non-event because I knew that there would be nothing important that would come out of the dialogue.
Why? Why from the start you knew from before the end of the dialogue that nothing good will come out of it?
Yeah, just when they was collecting the data in the field, when the Prime Minister was collecting the data, that's calling the elite from all the regions, or even from the day that the President announced it, there was a dialogue that was supposed to be between the government and the people of the southern Cameroon, or the government and the people of northwest and southwest region of Cameroon. But when you call a dialogue and you invite all the funds of all the 10 regions, you invite all the elites of all the 10 regions, it means it was a national problem, for which it wasn't a national problem. It was an Anglophone crisis for which we have been crying for more than 3 years now. So when you call something like that and you invite all the elite from all the 10 regions, it means it wasn't something that us Anglophone we should applaud for, that maybe a solution will come out from it.
Then do you mean that the failure of the major national dialogue was the fact that other delegates were convened from the other regions of Cameroon? Is that the reason why the dialogue was a failure, according to you? Was supposed to be a failure and was a failure?
It was a failure because, in fact, there are so many reasons. I will give you the reasons. One, because he invited all the other elites in all the 10 regions in Cameroon, which is one. Secondly, it was a failure because who are those that are fighting for the destabilization of Cameroon? Or as far as the Anglophone crisis is concerned, who are those? We have the secessionists, we have their leaders who are in the prison, and you call a dialogue without releasing them. They are still in the prison. And you call a dialogue and you did not even invite those who are in the diaspora that we all know that they are more into this struggle, more than even some of us who are based here in Cameroon. You did not invite them. When I say do not invite them, because first and foremost, you know, the government, they always have their ways of blindfolding the people. They can say, somebody will listen to me today and he will say, or he or she will say, we invited the diaspora and they did not come. You invited the diaspora and you know that some of them there, they are on exile. They are on exile and they know that if they come to the country, you will put them in prison. And you did not grant them a general amnesty that, okay, this is something that we want you people to come. We have signed an agreement that if you people come and we hold this dialogue and everything passes well, you will go back to your various places. You will go back to your various places in peace and nothing will happen to you. There was no document, there was nothing to sign, or there was nothing to testify that that was what happened. So if you are the one, Mr. Armstrong, and you're based in Europe and with all what is happening and you know your government very well, and they invite you on a dialogue like this without any written agreement, can you ever come to attend that dialogue?
I maybe that is just what people say, that they did not come because they were afraid of being arrested. I don't know if they said that officially, that their reason of not coming was because they were afraid of being arrested. But what I got officially from some of the documents published by these people, as they say, no such thing, anything between them and the government must be out of Cameroon. They said among these several other conditions that must be fulfilled for them to ever respond to any invitation of the government of Cameroon, at the head which we have President Paul Biya.
Actually, Mr. Armstrong, there are 5 points that I would like us to talk on, which is those points that will really bring peace here in Cameroon,
yes,
as far as those in the diaspora is concerned.
Yes.
One, if there was invited, that's very true. There was invited. What I called, what I said that the dialogue was a non-event, because you cannot call a dialogue, my brother, and you and I cannot be fighting. You call a dialogue and you are not even a member. You did not even participate in the dialogue. You call a dialogue and you appointed those who will handle the dialogue. You call a dialogue in your own area where you want. It means those who you are invited will only dance to your tune. I don't think that was a dialogue. It was a monologue. When we are talking of a dialogue here, Mr. Armstrong, we talk of a dialogue where 2 parties will go in a neutral ground. They will be in a neutral ground, and a third party will be present, like a referee will be present to talk between the two, to listen between the two and take a decision. This is what we have listened. This is what we have get from the 2 parties, and this is how we want things to move. So you call a dialogue and you call me into your own house, and you want me to come into your house where all your militaries are there with their gun, with their machine guns, and you expect me to come and even open my mouth to say what I really want. In Cameroon, Mr. Armstrong, you know, when you are somebody who speak the truth, you are against the government. That is clear. When you are a truthful somebody, you are totally against the government. And you don't expect people to go to Yaoundé, so and say
there are no members of government who are truthful. There are no people in government who speak the truth. The government in itself, is it a government that tells lies all the time?
Mr. Armstrong, I will say it very clear that there is nothing good that would ever come out as far as the regime in power is concerned. There is nothing good that will ever come out from them. They are full of lies, and what they fight for is just for their stomach and their family. That is why I will say, I was even present at the National Dialogue in Yaoundé, Mr. Armstrong. I went there, because I wanted to see those people who hold the life of young Cameroonians into their palms. I wanted to see those people who are really playing with the life of young Cameroonians in their palms. Mr. Armstrong, I'm very, very satisfied to tell you that I saw them face to face. I don't like seeing people on TV. I don't like talking about people on TV without seeing them face to face. So that was an opportunity for me to go and see these people, these old men who are really, really playing with the life of youth that are coming up. You will see, to be honest to you, Mr. Armstrong, I would like to make Anglophones to understand that our problems, Anglophone, is not even in the hands of some of the member of government, or it's not even in the hands of the President of the Republic, but it's in the hands of those who we call our elite. We cannot have people we call elites. We have the parliamentarians, we have the senators, we have ministers who are Anglophones. And when people, or when the president calls for a national dialogue and they are collecting data in the field, you all gather yourself, funds, chiefs, and so on. You gather yourself and line up behind a man who is not even an Anglophone, a man who call your children and you even as dog. Is that normal? The governor of the Southwest region, when they was going to go and present what Southwesterners won,
yes,
all the elites from the Southwest region, all the elites from the Northwest region, they was behind the governors, the two governors, and the governor was the head of their spokesperson. Tell me somebody who called your children, and even you dogs who always stand to say something which is what you want in life.
They were supposed to have prepared whatever their spokesperson is saying. When somebody is speaking on behalf of the people, he is not talking. I mean, whatever is coming out of him is not what he thinks, but he's speaking after an agreement with those he's representing.
Mr. Armstrong, we have all our governors today, all our leaders today, they are dictators. We know who we are dealing with. if you can call me a dog, it means even if I say something that is contrary to your idea or to your ideology, you will either kill me or you will make me sack from my post, or you will even make something that will really push me to the grass or to the prison for what the Cameroonian government
the governors shouldn't have been part of the delegation.
They are not Anglophone. They are not Anglophone, and they couldn't have even passed around when it concerns Anglophones' problems.
Let's proceed. The major national dialogue ended with some resolutions. You said from the start you knew that it was going to be a failure. He came out with some resolutions like the possibility or the accordance of a special status to the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon, among other issues. This enough? Is this not enough? I'm talking about the concept of a special status to the northwest and southwest regions.
Yeah, Mr. Armstrong, if you are talking of a special status, first and foremost, the question I would like to ask Anglophones or Cameroonians who are already clapping or jubilating that has the president already declared or has the resolutions of the national dialogue already come out? Because we are just saying things where when the president will even come out, maybe the special status will not even be heard. That was just a proposal.
Yes.
That was just a proposal that people proposed.
Yes.
Not so. So the resolution have not yet come out. And even if
there were resolutions that came out and were forwarded to him. Now, if he comes out at the end of the day, says it's okay, the idea of a special status to the North and South, would it be a solution? People want a practical solutions to the problems they have in the two English-speaking regions now. They are fed up with the suffering.
If I be the president of the Republic of Cameroon, I will never make that mistake to grant Anglophone special status, because that's the very big mistake.
On
to grant Anglophone, a very big mistake on the part of the president.
Okay.
If he grants Anglophone special status,
what do you
because
mean? Yes.
What I mean here is when you grant Anglophone special status, you mean because when that proposal came up,
okay,
after a few days after the major national dialogue ended, we heard even those from the far north, they were saying that they themselves, they want special status. Okay. So if the president of the republic can say, okay, I've granted Anglophone or I have given Anglophone special status, it means those people from the far north, they will start their own struggle. They will start their own fight, and the crisis in Cameroon will never end. What Cameroonians need, or what Anglophones need, is the 1961 system that we were practicing. Federation, two-state federation, and that's all. We don't need you to go into 1996 constitutions and pick a point in 1996 constitutions and try to impose on people. Special status will never, and it will never be a solution to this crisis. And if it be a solution to those in the Anglophone region, then Cameroon, the rest of the 8 region will be in total crisis.
Okay, what can be a solution? You say federalism?
The solution is two-state federation, federalism, even 10 states, even 4 states. But the solution is the 1961 system that we were before.
But then there was federation. It was not a 10-state federation, a 2-state federation. If a 10-state federation is accorded in Cameroon, will it still be a solution?
It can still be a solution. What we want, what we Anglophone or what we Cameroonians we want, is for us to manage our affairs, is for us to vote our governor, is for us to vote our SDO, is for us to vote our mayors and see how we can deal with them. We don't want people who will be appointed and who will only work for an individual and not work for the population.
All right, but now last question is that we hear that it's not been defined. The special status has not been defined. There's a possibility of the special status coming as to have a content likened to a federation, likened to a confederation.
What we need, let's not use language or words to blindfold people. Let's not use words to destroy the contents of what is happening. What we need, either you say it's federation or either you say it is confederation, and that is what we need. And if I can propose solution to this crisis today, then I will say there are 5 points that I would like to propose to the President of the Republic or the Cameroon government. The first point is, if we want the crisis to come come to an end. If we want peace in Cameroon, we should demilitarize all the military. We should send the military from the southwest and northwest back to their barrack. From there, the Ambazonia or the separatist fighters will drop their gun. Secondly, he should release all those Anglophones. I'm not saying only Siseko or whatsoever, but all those Anglophones that was put into the prison because of this crisis. Thirdly, he should call a national dialogue. A national dialogue that will be out of the country and with the president of the third party. Fourthly, he should now grant a general amnesty to Anglophones leader or to all Cameroonians, not only Anglophones, to Cameroonians who are in the diaspora, to have the access to come to the country so that they can participate in the nation building. And lastly, I want to call on the President of the Republic. He is the father. He is somebody who loves the nation. He is somebody who wants peace in Cameroon. That he should at least resign and give the post and give the helm of the nation to another person to handle. Thank you very much.
Longlab Blashus, he is a man of God and a political analyst. Ending the second and last part of this edition of the news. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for staying with us. Wish you a blessed stay in the company of programs on Equinox Television.